tough question. I mean, experiencing music is an intimate thing. It's very interactive, but I think people are going to take away different things. I'd like them to feel like they got to be part of a really great show, that they got a little bit of a musical education. I'm sure a lot of people coming today might not have heard of or heard all the music of all the bands and women playing today. Hopefully they can get a bit of a social education as well. A big part of the reason for being here today with all of you is to deal with the charitable element and to get the charitable word out. The fact that the dollar of every ticket sale goes to a local women's shelter today. That's the foundation, Women's Foundation Minnesota, who's going to be the recipient. And also we have an I4C campaign, which is essentially an ethical fund, which we're putting also a dollar of every ticket sale into to help triple bottom line companies, give them capital to help grow their companies. And any proceeds that we make as Lilith, we then give back to charity as well. So maybe people will become a little more aware of music, a little more aware of some of the good things they can do in their own community, in their own society to help make the world a better place. But again, it's an intimate experience. It really depends on what they choose to take away from it. But we're just offering all those things.
Sarah, first of all, I just want to thank you for all you do for the animals and your work with the ASPCA. And just wondering how you developed your passion to help animals.
Well, it's really simple. I love animals, and they don't have their own voice. They rely 100% on us humans for protection and food and comfort and love. And sadly, there's a lot of animals out there in the world who don't have a loving home and sometimes come from awful circumstances. And it was a simple thing of a friend of mine was working at the SPCA in Vancouver, and she asked me if I wanted to do a PSA for them. And I did want it to be 3 hours, and it generated $20 million.
Is that your dog?
They wouldn't let me use my dog. My dogs are brown and black, and they don't translate well on camera.
Anyone else?
I wanted to ask Emily and Marty to compare your Lilith experience this time versus what it was like on the previous 10 times.
3 kids. Well, it's similar. 3 kids, yes. We're traveling. We're trading off who has their family out when, but it's a bit more similar than anything because we feel like we're a baby band again in a lot of ways, and having to with new material that the fans might not be as familiar with. When one song at a time, one fan at a time, when people get back to what we have to offer, since we're not under the Chicks umbrella, we're coming in as in the band again. So it's very challenging and rewarding at the same time.
It's just such a unique touring experience, and I just hope that it can continue because it's been a lot of years since we did the first Lilith, and we talked about it year after year, what a great experience that was, and this is proving to be the same kind of thing where artists collaborate, share the stage. You don't get that on other tours, traveling tours especially, tours that are camped out in one city, but that's unique, and I'm so glad my children, now being 6 and 2, are getting to experience that. When we were growing up, we traveled around in an RV and went to festivals and got to hear live music. It's different than hearing recorded music, and it inspires young girls to pick up instruments or sing or songwrite, and so that's what's important about doing this. So I just hope it continues and we can do it again.
Okay. Have time for one more question. Anybody has one? Now? Okay, if not.